Okay, very good. The revolutions in the hemispheres, or the revolution, the revolutionist orbitals on the revolutions of the hemispheres. Okay, this book and articles and articles is cited or was cited as part of the scientific revolution. Okay, so you both now inspire say that so you talk more about this formula. Okay, yes. A book entitled
Recording in progress.
outline to describe
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so let's wait 3 minutes more for our classmates.
How do we get this? Rashida. Okay. Again, in the model of nature, non-stop nature universe, in Nicholas Copernicus, he outlined two kinds of planetary motions. Exactly, the movement by the planets. Ano yung dalawa? Movement of planets. Two kinds of planetary motion by Nicholas Copernicus. Okay, so for anyone? Okay, rotation. Rotation. Rotation of planets. Okay, the first one, ano yung mga planets closer to the sun? Sige, guys, you have an idea? Okay, is within this in Mercury. Okay, these are the two planets that lay inside the orbit of the Earth, but closer or less closer to the Sun. Yung mga planets na nakalagay lang inside the orbit of the Earth and closer to the Sun. This outline of how the planets.
Papa!
Jupiter. Okay. Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. Okay, so yung tatlong ito na planets, these planets lay outside the Earth's orbit, but further from the Sun.
Okay, good morning
So,
everyone.
Outline two.
Good morning, sir.
Nicholas Copernicus in
Morning,
Sila.
sir.
how planets
Good morning,
Morning,
sir.
around the Earth. Okay, so yung mga
Morning, sir.
orbits
Morning,
Okay.
sir.
lay inside the orbit of the Earth, but closer to the Sun. And then it's Mercury.
Can you see the share screen?
And the
Yes
second
po.
one
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Po, sir.
lay outside the Earth's orbit.
Check ko
This
muna
orbit of
yung
the Sun. So ito yung mga planets na
check ko muna ang schedule kung tama nga yung pan ko. Okay. So, okay, good morning everyone. So, MedTech 2A.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, this is our lesson 4.
Planets.
Lesson 4. Okay, now,
Let's proceed.
on lesson 4, we will discuss the following. More on communication between computer, within the computer, the users. Okay. Then we will have last part will be impact of computer everyday life. Now, this is recorded, and I will shut down for class participation, as you have observed during the presentation of grade system. So there is a score or grade for class participation. So I will conduct class once in either prelim, midterm, and finals for the class participation. Okay. So let's start with our class. So for lesson 4, computer communicate with one another. So let's look into the peripherals of the computer, how they are connected. Now, let's start with mouse. How do mouse connected in a computer system? Anyone?
Sir, mouse is the U. Ako, sir.
Ano yun? Cyrus?
Sir, mouse is a pointing device that is used to navigate in the monitor of the computer, sir.
Okay, now, the question is, how it is connected?
Ako,
Paano
sir.
siya computer?
Via USB cable, sir, or via Bluetooth connection.
Okay. Okay. So, mouse is connected through USB or PS2 or Bluetooth. Miss Amar, please mute. Abigail. Okay, thank you. So mouse is connected through either USB, PS2, and Bluetooth. Same with keyboard. Okay, same with keyboard. Now, For the monitor, how is monitor connected through the computer system?
Me, sir.
Ano yun?
Via, ako po, sir, VGA or ano, sir, HDMI.
Okay, so actually there are 5 ways. There are 5 ways of connecting the monitor. So the very first generation runs with the VGA. Next, lumabas yung DVI. Next, lumabas yung HDMI. Next, lumabas yung DisplayPort. Okay. Any idea, the fifth one? Sino nakakalam? The fifth one.
Ako po, sir.
Yes. Ano yung fifth one na pwede natin i-connect yung kuha natin? Monitor.
USB-C connector po.
Okay, USB. Pwede USB. Ano pa?
Ang internet po, sir.
Okay, internet or on air. Okay, so meron yan siya. Only some devices support on air. Okay. So how about speaker? How do we connect speaker?
Through USB, sir.
Okay, another one. Ano pa?
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth?
Through Bluetooth, sir.
Ha? Ano yung isa? Okay, so meron tayong USB, Bluetooth, and ano?
Speaker AC adapter, sir.
Ano?
Speaker AC adapter po.
That is a specialized device. Meron tayong yung audio jack tawag natin or commonly known for 3.5 jack. Okay? Yung speaker. Now next is how about internet? How do we connect internet?
RJ45.
Ethernet cable po, sir.
Meron tayong either tawag dyan is RJ either 45 or 11. Dalawa yun siya. Okay? Now, how about printer? How do we connect printer? Anyone knows how to connect the printer?
USB, sir.
USB, sir.
Through USB, sir.
Yeah.
USB, sir.
Ano pa? USB?
Internet, sir. Internet, sir.
Internet. Pwede natin siya i-LAN. Okay? Ano pa? LAN na, yun lang.
Bluetooth po, sir.
Ano?
Bluetooth po.
Okay, Bluetooth. Okay, pwede rin. Okay, so printer can be connected USB, Bluetooth. Actually, pwede Wi-Fi or LAN. Okay, LAN. Okay. Ano pa yung sinabi ninyo? USB. Okay. On the first generation or the second generation of connecting printer, there are serial and parallel port. Okay, so that is the old connectivity of the printer. Okay. So, well, we know projector will be similar to the monitor. Okay, so same lang yung connectivity nila. Okay. So for the next slide, let's look into how computer communicate within its anong tawag dito? Within its peripherals. Now, we have how do CPU, memory, and input-output devices connected to each other. So we call this system bus. So there are 3 ways computer communicate to each other. Now, there are control bus, address bus, and data bus. So we're talking about within the system unit, within the system unit lang. Okay. Now, Data bus, so from its word, so it transfers data. Example, files from flash drive to hard drive. So meaning, it passes through the data bus. Now, how about address bus? So address bus is how do he identifies its peripherals? Okay. So halimbawa, if you want to locate your printer, so it will pass through the address bus to look for its port. Where is the printer connected? Next is we have the control bus. So control bus is commands and instruction passes through its control bus. So there are three ways on communicating within the computer. Now, how about communicating through other devices? Okay, kasi we have discussed how do computer communicate with each peripherals or within its parts. So for within the devices or other computers, so we have identified actually three, but there are more, so we will have the basic. So one is the personal area network. So personal area network based on the picture. So it just personal devices like mouse, headset, tablets, cell phones, printers, and other computers. So this is limited. This is limited into around 5 to 10 meters. Okay. So yun yung limitation ng personal area network natin. Next is, if you look into the local area network, so this is for offices. Okay, offices yun siya. So within the office, we have multiple computers, so we call it a local area network. Now, how about wide area network? Anyone can give an example of setup that includes wide area network. Anyone can have an example? Wide area network. Hello? Wala sila kabalo.
Internet, sir.
Yes, the ISP. The Internet Service Provider or PLDT. Kasi PLDT will have multiple LANs yung distribution nila doon sa mga clients nila. Okay? So the best example is PLDT or the Internet Service Provider, which creating a multiple LANs within their networks. So that is the wide area network. Now, for means of communication or connecting for our computers, we have either wired or wireless. Now, for wired communication, we will use coax. Actually, this is an old wire, coax. Old wire yung coax. Coax fibers, Ethernet. Ito yung tinatawag nilang UTP cables, okay, and telephone lines. So the UTP use the RJ45, the telephone use the RJ11. Okay, there are 4 pins. There are 8 pins for that one. Okay, now for wired connection, example will be the USB. Now USB, we know that it uses keyboard, mouse, printer, and other devices. Okay, FireWire. So FireWire, actually FireWire has a short life because it is only intended for external drive. Whereas USB evolved from 1, 2, 3, 3.1. Okay, nag-evolve siya. Whereas FireWire is only FireWire. Isa lang yung version niya and it's only intended for data. Now, RJ45 and RJ11. Well, it's signal. Okay, transmit signal. Next, we have HDMI. So HDMI is intended for audio and video, whereas the VGA is only for video data. This one is an old yan siya. Old connectivity yan siya. But for now, serial and parallel ports are used. Some in printers, and printers. Then we have other special devices. Meron tayong special devices. Halimbawa doon sa mga pang-survey, mga equipment, ganun. It's used parallel or serial. Now, we have the PS2. Almost obsolete ang PS2, but nowadays ginagamit pa rin siya. So keyboard and mouse for PS2. Now, audio jack, ito yung audio. Okay, now, what's the difference if you're using a PS2 and a USB for mouse and keyboard? Any idea what's the difference between using PS2 and USB for mouse and keyboard? Anyone? Anyone? Lang nakakaalam? Bakit yung iba gusto yung PS2 na mouse or keyboard compare sa USB? Wala. Okay. So USB, meron siyang power, which enables us to use RGB. RGB yung merong kulay-kulay ng mga headset at saka mga keyboard. Okay? Now, whereas in PS2 kasi, it is in zero latency while using PS2 connectivity of your keyboard and mouse. Now, in a command, most likely in gaming, they prefer using PS2 because of the zero latency. So that is the difference between the PS2 and the USB keyboard and mouse. Some high-end computers still have PS2 on their connectivity. So for next slide, so we have wireless and Bluetooth connectivity. Now, we know that Wi-Fi is, we can find it everywhere. Now, Wi-Fi uses 2.5 or 5 gigahertz in frequency that is above or limited to this one, so that it will not interfere or conflict between radio, okay, radio and TV frequency. So I think nasa 800 somewhere, 1,800 somewhere yung frequency niya. So it won't interfere. Okay? But other wireless connection, we have microwave, satellite, cellular, radio. But the most popular on radio transmission is the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi. Now, I will ask you, where do we use Wi-Fi? Saan ba natin makikita yung Wi-Fi na ginagamit natin? Anyone? Walang nag-participate. Saan kayo makakita ng Wi-Fi? Availability of Wi-Fi, saan?
Sa mga public places, sir.
Public places like?
Plaza, for example.
Okay, plaza. Ano pa?
Whenever may router, sir, or may may medium of para magpasa ang connection sa mga cellphone.
Okay. As mentioned before, Wi-Fi is almost available everywhere. So let's start with your home. Home, di ba? Meron kayong Wi-Fi. Pagpunta nyo sa school, meron din sa school. Pagpunta nyo sa terminal, meron. especially airports. Okay? Pagsakay ninyo ng bus, meron din. Meron ding wifi dun sa bus. Or pupunta kayo ng shopping malls sa SM, meron sa SMs. Okay? So you can find wifi almost everywhere. Alternatively, kung walang wifi, anong gamitin natin?
Data.
Yes, sir.
They call it mobile.
Mobile data. Mobile data, sir.
Pero kung free data, text lang.
Free
Okay.
data sa Facebook.
Free data. Okay, free data. Now, let's go to the Bluetooth. Okay, Bluetooth. So Bluetooth is limited within the range. Okay? Within the range of 10 meters in Bluetooth. Whereas, ano bang range ng Wi-Fi natin? Okay. Around nasa 160 meters. Wi-Fi. Okay. Whereas in Bluetooth, nasa 10 meters lang. So that is the difference between them. One is another difference is Bluetooth is paired, meaning 1:1 yung connection. Where Wi-Fi is 1:many. So pwedeng 10 or ilan ba dyan. Okay. You can find a Wi-Fi device, okay, Wi-Fi device or access point. Let's call it an access point that can cater. Yung mura kasi nasa 15 lang yun users. Okay? Meron ding 100. Merong 500. Okay? I think I've seen a 1,500 one device, yung Wi-Fi device natin. But it will cost around almost 100,000. Ano siya? 100,000 yan siya. Yung mga 150, 1,500 ang tawag niyan is 1,500 concurrent user, meaning it uses at the same time. So, yung pinakamura nasa mga 900, 800, so mga 15 users lang yun siya. Yung kasama sa PLDT, if you have observed, di ba merong router, then merong Wi-Fi. So this is only can cater 10 to 15. Okay? If you would like to cater more users, so either you will buy the 100 or the 500. Okay? In some setup, I've seen a setup doon sa mga sa US, yung gym sa US, yung mga gym, mga ganun, yung mga sports complex, they have set up the 1,500 concurrent users. Ganun yung setup nila doon sa Wi-Fi. Okay? So that's for the wireless connectivity. Now, let's look into how humans communicates to the computer. Now, reading along 0 and 1. So, pag kayo magbasa niyan, so there is a difficulty on translating the codes into yung human communication, di ba? Nangyari dyan, hindi natin mabasa yan. So, now, computer has a software or programs that will enable human to communicate with computer. Okay, so this one, if I think this is C, okay, or this is computer. Computer yan siya if you read it. Okay, ganon. Now, so we have software and programs. So programs, it's a set of codes or instructions which are usually designed and written by programmers. Now, we have different specific language for programming. Ang tawag dito is language, programming language. Now, programming language is, meron pang iba dito, C++ is Windows 10 is made of C++. Okay? C# is yung mga, this is C#, this is C++. Okay? So C# is, ginawa niya is, halimbawa is Word, Microsoft Word. So that's the difference between the two. Okay? PHP is the web. Okay, the web. Java can be incorporated in other programming language. Example, Java can be incorporated in PHP or cell phone operating system. Before Android, BlackBerry and Nokia uses Java as their programming language to use in their cell phones. Okay? Now, if we have programs, we can categorize two types of programs by the developer. We have the system software and the application software. Now, system software is the operating system. Operating system yan siya. Anyone can give an example of an operating system. Anyone?
Windows, sir.
Windows. Particular. Anong particular? Windows?
Linux, sir. Ubuntu.
Okay. Ano pa?
Mac OS.
Mac OS. Ano pa?
Apple iOS, sir.
Okay. Ano pa?
Android.
Microsoft Windows po, sir.
Android. Ano pa?
Microsoft Windows.
Particular sa Microsoft Windows.
Windows XP.
Windows XP yan. Parang murag karaan naman kay ka. Windows 11 naman ta karon, Windows XP.
Windows Vista.
Okay. So that is examples of operating system on for Windows or hindi Windows. It's the company Microsoft. Okay? Microsoft. Ang ginawa ni Microsoft is Windows. Meron dyan, it started with 95, 98, XP, ME, 7, Vista, 8, 8.1, 10, 11. Dami, no? Okay. Actually, Windows 11 is out now, but it's on an open beta, meaning regular users can upgrade into a Windows 11. So late this year, probably lalabas yung Windows 11 for update on the here in your computer. Now, next company is Apple. Anong ginawa ni Apple? OS X for MacBook, desktop, and iOS. The iPad OS. Okay? iPad OS. And ano yung sa watch nila? Yung sa watch nila na OS? Okay. Marami. Okay. Yun yung kuha nila. iOS is I think coming in 15, version 15 ata. Version 15 na yan siya. The latest for Mac OS OS X is Monterey. Okay. iPad OS is new, I guess. Nasa 3 or 4 pa lang ata. Okay. Si Watch something napot sa 3 and 4 pa lang ata yung versions niya. Okay. Now, let's go another one. How come? Sabihin natin. How come Linux doesn't have a particular company? Wala siyang particular company. Not like Microsoft, Windows, Apple, OS X, okay? Walang particular company Linux because it is free. Okay? Anyone can develop. Okay. Now, if you are talking about Ubuntu, then it's still free. Support it with a community. Meron din siyang community na support. Okay? Meaning kayo lang users mag-usap-usap dyan. Linux. It's free. Another one is the Android. Actually, Android is free. Okay. So, both of these operating system are free, meaning there is no particular attachment into a particular company. Okay? Ito kasi is paano siya? Meron yan siyang presyo. So, Windows, if you look into the Windows 10, if you look into Windows 10, it will cost around 8K. 8K yan siya. But Apple is free. Free yan siya for Apple device. So hindi mo rin siya magamit sa iba kasi Apple device lang siya exclusive. Okay? Si Windows, pwede mo bilihin 8K. Si Android is free, Linux is free. Okay? So that's it, what's for the operating system. Now, let's go to application software. Sino nakakaalam, any idea of or example for application software?
Google Chrome, sir. Mozilla Firefox.
Firefox.
TM.
Okay. Application software runs on the top of the operating example. Google Chrome, Firefox. Okay, so Lindel, please mute muna. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so application software runs on top of system software or operating system. So meron tayong Microsoft Word, Excel, Adobe products, ano pa? Marami pa. Now, on online application software, it's just an online version of the application software. Example, Microsoft Word, you can use Microsoft Word on Google Classroom through online. So without installing the Microsoft Word, you can use Microsoft Word online through the browser. So that is the example. Online Word. Okay. If you will create a website, the most famous one is the Wix. If you have encountered that one, Wix.com. So it will create websites for websites. Okay. Actually, there are a lot. Slides by Google. So it can create a PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So marami tayong online application. Marami tayong application which is available online. Okay. So there are two types of software. So system and application. Whereas application runs on top of the system software, where system software is an operating system. So that is the two types of softwares. Now, for interaction between the user and the computer, so persons are allowed to interact with the computer through hardware components and peripherals. This interaction can occur in two ways, either by command line, or by GUI. Now, command line example is if you run DOS or the PowerShell, you can command shutdown. Okay? So mag-shutdown yung computer mo. Whereas in GUI is you will click the Windows, you will click the power, you will click the shutdown. Okay. Meron pa palang enter yan dyan, enter. Okay. So that's the difference between the two using command line and interface. So here we can use either mouse or keyboard. So here you can only use keyboard lang magamit mo dyan, hindi ka makagamit ng mouse dyan. If that is only in the DOS or in the PowerShell command lines. Okay. Now, Windows 10 has a GUI and meron din siyang command line. But command line is available on operating system with GUI, but it is widely used on the headless, tawag dyan, headless servers. Meaning, walang monitor yung server natin. Okay, walang monitor. You can only have a remote, then you can do a command line. Okay. So yun yung difference nila. Now, headless servers versus the desktop. Well, tawag dyan is Core OS. Tawag dyan Core OS. Meaning Core OS doesn't have, wala yan siyang GUI. Meaning, all you have to do is command lang ka. Okay? Now, this is more efficient compared to desktop operating system kasi less yung resources ng gagamitin niya. So this is designed most likely for servers. Kasi hindi mo naman kailangan ng server. Hindi mo naman kailangan ng GUI sa server kasi hayaan mo na naman yan siya. So servers has a core OS na operating system. Okay. So that is how we interact with the computer or send command. Now, another one is, what is a system platform? Ano yung platform? Any idea? What is a system platform? Anyone? Any idea for system platform? Wala sila. Okay. So, desktop. We have mobile. On desktop, we have Linux, Windows, OS X. Mobile. We have Android, iOS. Some have Java. Okay. O at saka Windows Mobile. Merong Windows Mobile doon sa mobile. Okay, so that's the difference. So all of this is called platforms. Kasi within one, it is yung software natin for Linux is only for Linux. Ang software natin sa Linux, meaning, hindi pwede sa Windows. Hindi din siya pwede sa OS X. Okay? So this is our platforms and subdivided into different operating systems. Okay? So that's the platforms as defined. Okay? Now, if you can see, we have a graph of market share. Market share, meaning available or being used at current. Now, if you look into Android, ito yung Android, ito yung Windows, ito yung Windows, ito yung Mac. And this is the probably Linux operating systems. Now, we see that maraming Windows user at saka Android users. But if you look into the satisfaction per user, you can see that there are more Apple user satisfied versus Microsoft Android users. Okay, so the highest satisfied percentage of user is nasa Apple, whether it is using OS X, iOS, iPad OS, or Watch OS. Okay, so yan siya. So ito namang Microsoft, so nasa Windows, so from 95 to 11. Okay, so mas taas ang satisfaction doon sa Apple products compared doon sa tawag Windows and Android users. Okay? Now, for the next or the last slides natin, we know that computer can be seen anywhere, almost anywhere. Now, how does it impact in terms of school? How does it help in school? So one is teachers. Diba? It helped teachers. Other admins. Whereas in banking, as I see yung ATM, the availability of ATM. Ngayon, kung wala kang pera ng gabi, close na yung bank, so wala kang pera. Ngayon, at least merong ATM, so maka-withdraw pa. Okay? Now, in industry, so we have the automations yun sa e-commerce. Okay. Sino makagbigay ng example ng electronic commerce?
Shopee, sir.
Okay, Shopee. Ano pa? Shopee lang alam nyo?
Lazada. Amazon.
Meron pa
eBay,
iba.
sir. eBay, sir.
eBay.
Alibaba.
Alibaba. Ano pa?
Amazon, sir.
Okay. Amazon. Okay. Sinong pinakauna? Sa lahat ng nabanggit nyo, sino ang pinakauna?
Amazon, sir.
Yes, Amazon was the first one. Okay. Amazon was the first one. Okay. Wait muna. Si Amazon ang pinakauna. Actually, Amazon has a very big warehouse that enables him, robots na yung nagakuan si Amazon. Robots na yung nag-allocate ng products nila sa kalaki ng warehouse ni Amazon. Okay? So here comes, sino ang e-commerce ng China? Wait muna. Yes, hello? Yes? Sa asan eh? Okay, asa man kakaron? Naabay ako diri sa eskwelahan do. PDCI. Nako karon diri sa klase. Okay. Okay. Oh. Naapoy ko ate.
Kaya pa this year, guys.
Okay, sana tayo? Wait muna. Sana yung share ko. Wala na yung share ko. Ala. Hindi lumabas yung share. Ayun. Okay, lumabas na. Now, actually, hello, marinig niyo ako?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir.
Actually, meron akong order sa tumawag sila sa dumating na yan yung order ko. Anyway, now, let's continue. Ano na yung question ko? Sino ang e-commerce based on China? Anyone?
Alibaba, sir.
Alibaba, sir.
Alibaba,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Alibaba,
But
sir.
Alibaba, sir.
But other e-commerce is available naman kahit saan, di ba? But Amazon is US based, di ba? Alibaba is US based. Lazada is, saan based si Lazada?
Southeast.
Yes, nasa Southeast Asia kasi merong Hong Kong. Merong Hong Kong, merong Singapore na Lazada eh. Si Shopee, asa base si Shopee?
Philippines, sir.
Okay, Philippines. Okay. So e-commerce or electronic commerce or e-commerce. Okay. Basta shopping, aptika nila og shopping yun eh. Nasa Lazada yan. Di ba? Advertisement nila. Anyway. How about hospital? So hospital, one hospital is some devices or equipments na lang. Some equipments is attached to the computer for result. Halimbawa, yung mga scanners nila doon for halimbawa yung scan yung brain mo, di ba? Siyempre, yung output mo nasa computer. So it's improve yung diagnostic ng hospital natin for the use of computer. Now, ask ko ngayon, kung paano kayo ng cellphone, anong mangyari sa inyo? Kunin ko yung cellphone ninyo lahat. No. Anong mangyari sa buhay niyo within the day? Diba? Walang papayag.
Magtanga dyan, sir.
Boring.
Magtanga. Okay?
Magtanga, sir.
Well, during my college days, hindi ko na lang isabihin yung age ko ha. During my college days, wala pang cellphone. Okay? Wala pang cellphone. All we have to do is, we go, college days ako, wala akong cellphone. Pupunta ako sa classmates. Pupunta sa classmates. Ganun. Walang cellphone eh. Pupunta
Sir, nakamute ka, sir. Sir, nakamute ka. Sir, nakamute ka, sir. Nakamute ka, sir. Sir. Wala, sir. Wala may madunggan.
nawa. Hello.
Meron na, sir.
Hello, sir.
Meron na po, sir.
Okay, nag-exit ang isang Zoom na ako. Anyway. So that was our last part. Okay, so that's our last part. So I'll be posting activity later on, either siguro mga Monday na siguro. Okay? So everyone, I would like to see your camera on. Camera on. Oh. Camera on. Camera on. Camera on. Camera on. No, nahuya maning mga upod ninyo. So, sino pa? Sino pa? Sino pa? Meron pa o. Naka-off ang cam. Meron pa o profile niya. Ginawa niya yung profile niya yung para bang kuhan. Nakasmile siya na para nakawa ng camera. Yan. Okay. So, I will take a print screen. Okay? So, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So, prelim on Kwan.
Thank you, sir.
Prelim natin next week.
sir. Yes,
Thank
po.
you, sir.
Okay, so the coverage will be, wala akong pointers kasi yung coverage natin is lahat from lesson 1 to 4. Okay?
Opo, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
sige. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Sir, bye,
Sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir.